If you use Canva to design for your business, then you're going to love these 10 Canva tips and tricks that I've learned over the last few years using them that you need to know. And I can guarantee if you stay until the end that you will learn at least one new thing, because there are so many great tips in this video. And if you haven't tried Canva yet, I do have a free 30-day trial for their pro account down in the description below. So let's jump right in with my first tip. If you've ever been looking through the graphics on Canva, and sometimes they are editable, scalable graphics or SVGs, and you'll know that by when you click on the graphic, you'll see these different color options here at the top, and you can go in here and change the colors of the graphic super quickly and easily. But you'll find other graphics where there's no color options and you can't change the color of them, but they don't quite fit what you need. Well, there is an app here on Canva that can help you with that. So you'll click the graphic and select Edit Photo. And here you'll come down to Effects and scroll over to Duotone. So this can allow you to do a couple of different things. You can change it to these different colors here, but then you can actually change it to whatever color you want. So let's say I just wanted these to be little black stars. I just change both of these to black, and now I've got them in a different color than before. So if a graphic's white and you want it black or any other color under the sun, let's say you wanted it to match one of these graphics, you could come up here and you see this little color code that pops up here. You can select it, and this is called the hex code, and you can copy and paste this into this graphic by selecting the duotone, and now I can add it right in here and make it the exact same colors that the other graphics are. Another way that you can use duotone is with graphics that are multicolored, but maybe not the right colors to match the aesthetic of your design. So something like this graphic right here, you'll again hit Edit Image, and you can type in duotone if you don't see it there. And here you can select some different options of what color tones you want it. And so you can choose the ones that they already have pre-made, or you can again come in here and edit these to be the same colors that are within your current design to try and match up to what you currently have. And that can be a great way to make sure that all of your graphics match within your design. Next up, I have a quick hack for you on creating mock-ups faster and making sure that your designs look great on the item that you're trying to sell it on before you get too much further in the design process. So let's say I'm working on this design right here that I made saying Very Merry Teacher. If I want to see as I'm mid-designing this what it would look like on a mock-up, normally you'd have to go save this as a PNG, re-upload it to Canva, and then upload it onto your mock-up. But one easy hack for you is you can actually highlight everything within the design and do copy and paste. I have a Mac, so I do Command C, but you could do Control C if you have a Windows computer. And then you come over to a mock-up that you have open and paste it, which for me, I do Command V. And now we can click this group button so it doesn't get separated, and size it onto our mock-up in just a few seconds. So this really can save you a lot of time. We'll just lower our transparency to give it a more realistic look, and then in just seconds we can see how this would look on a mock-up, and we can even just go ahead and save it right from here. The third hack I have for you is how to warp text within Canva. This used to be something if you wanted to create that retro wavy font or warp your text into a different shape that you'd need to go off of Canva to some other design software to do, but Canva recently had an update that you can do this right within the Canva apps. So first you'll need to go down to the apps section here on Canva and type in Typecraft. And then you'll see an option pop up here that you can click this. And this is where you'll actually create and edit the graphic. So let's say, you wanted it to say teacher. Here you'll choose the fonts. Now the font choices in here are somewhat limited. Not every single font that you've ever downloaded is going to show up in here, but there are lots of really cute options that you can choose from. And you can also change the colors of your image by coming in here, and you can make it whatever color that you'd like. And if you want it to match the colors of the design you're already working on, you can copy and paste one of those hex codes to be the exact same colors that you're already working on. Then you come down here and you actually get to edit the shape. So here you can grab these little circles and edit this however you like. So if you wanted to give it kind of that like retro wavy type vibe, you can start to raise these and lower these to give it a different feel. And you can really edit this and change it however you'd like for the design design that you are creating. So you can do a lot of different things with this. You'll have to play around with it to see the best ways to get the effects that you're looking for. But as soon as you've made what you're looking for, you'll click Add Element to Design, and then here you'll be able to actually add it into the design that you already have. But if you want to edit this more, if it's not quite right, then you just delete it and come back here and re-edit it again until you get it just the way that you want. But the possibilities really are endless. Now, tip number 4 is using Canva's bulk create app. Now, some of you may have already seen this in my How to Create 100 Designs in an Hour video, and I'll link that one down below for you, but I'll also just show you really quickly exactly how to use it. So this can help you create designs so much faster in your store, and I'll show you exactly how. So let's say I was trying to make a scalable design, and that's where I say that you make a template. So in this case, my template is "It's a beautiful day for," and then the last word is the one that will be changing out. So instead of taking a bunch of time to create 50 different designs for 50 different niches, I'm going to come up with one saying that makes sense for multiple niches, and then we're going to plug and play them into Canva, and Canva will actually create all of those designs for me. So you come up with some kind of template like this, and then you want the separate word. So design here is a separate word that I want changed. So these ones are all in one text box, but the word that I want to be edited and changed out is in a different text box. Now that's really important. So once you have your template made and say your separate word that you want changed out is down here in its own box, then you're ready for the next step, which will come back over to the App Store within Canva. But now we're going to type in bulk create. So once you type that in, you'll see the bulk create button here, and you can either upload a CSV, which would be all the same information, but you input it in an Excel document and then upload it, or you can just enter the data manually. So here you're going to see a different graph that you can put in the words that you want to replace that first word with. So for our case here, I'm going to delete this column because I only need one column, and this is going to be the profession, we'll say. So I'm going to have mine say "It's a beautiful day for music," because I'm going to do teachers. It's a beautiful day for art, for science, for math, for English. Once you have all of the words put in there that you want to replace with this text, you'll go ahead and select Done. So here you're going to see the profession, and that is the data field. So now we just have to connect that data to this line that we want edited. And if this doesn't make sense, don't worry, it will in just a moment. So you'll click the word that you want changed out for all these other words and select these 3 dots here. And now you're going to say Connect Data, and you'll see this profession line that we just created. And now you want to make sure that this is edited the way that you want it laid out. So there I had an extra letter, make sure this is extra long, give it a good space for it, and then select Continue. It's going to ask you, do you want to apply all of this data? And you'll say yes, generate however many pages, and you can really, sky is the limit, do so many with this. But I will warn you that you do want to make sure you're creating designs for niches that have demand. So make sure you're not just choosing random things to create with this, or else it's going to just waste your time. So select Generate 8 pages. Now mine goes into my pop-up block window, but if I click this little button, it opens a brand new template, and now you can see all of the different versions of my design. And you always want to go through them to make sure that they all fit. So like social studies is a little bit longer, so I'm going to see if I can edit that to fit, and no, it doesn't really. So, you know, I might leave that on the next line, or you could decide not to use this one because it's long. And then you can go ahead and individually update these onto Printify and Etsy to load them into your store for sale, but it makes the design process go so much faster. On to tip number 5, and that is how to use font glyphs within your designs. Now, if you don't know what glyphs are, those are the pretty little extra swirls and accents that a lot of fonts have at the beginning and the end of them. If you've ever found a font that you really like on, say, something like Creative Fabrica, one of my favorite websites to get graphics and fonts from, this is only $9 per month, and you get unlimited downloads. I do have a link for you down below where you get 9 9 free downloads, and then once you download the 10th, you get charged for your first month. But it is such a great deal for how much you get. But if you've ever looked on this website and wondered, when I download these fonts and upload them to Canva, why these special little swirls don't work, this is why. Canva doesn't give you the option to upload the little font glyphs, but I'll show you actually how to use them when you're using that software. So let's say you find a font like this one, Beautiful Wildflower, you'll go ahead and download it. To upload the font to Canva, you just select your text that you're already in, select the text name, and come down here to upload a font. Then you'll want to find the .otf file for that font, and now it'll be uploaded into your Canva account. But you'll notice that even when you're in here, you still, like I said, can't access those little glyphs. So then you need to move on to step number 2, which you do need Creative Fabrica for. So you'll come here to their tools section and come to Font Cloud. So here is their font cloud. You can store a bunch of different fonts within here. Now you'll need to drop your font and upload that OTF file into here as well. And once you come in here to your font, you can scroll through all the different accents that you can add to your designs. So let's say you'll want to use this little letter A at the beginning of a word. You'll click it and it copies it to your keyboard. And then you'll come back over to Canva. So let's say I wanted to do the word always. I delete my regular plain Jane letter A and click paste, and now I have that cute little glyph. So let's say we'll do the letter S again. So we'll come back through here and we'll find the letter S that has a squiggle at the end. Come back in here, delete this S, paste that one, and now we have a super cool design to use in our stores. So you can use this a ton of different ways. There's so many fonts on Creative Fabrica that have those font glyphs, and even on other websites you can upload any font to that font cloud, but I do think this is a super valuable tip. And speaking of fonts, that brings me to my next Canva hack, which is how to make designs like this. So I have the word teacher cut in half with a different personalized name in the middle. Now don't all go make this exact same one, but I want to show you how to make this general idea of a design, because I think the possibilities for it are endless. So the way that you would actually create this is you would get your word. So let's say if you're using a similar example like teacher, and for this one I used my favorite font, Peace and Love, that I found on Creative Fabrica. You can make it all capitals by clicking this uppercase letter here, and then you'll make it the color that you want. So let's say you wanted this green color like I'm showing in this example. So now go ahead and save the word you want to cut in half as a transparent PNG. So go to Share, Download, Transparent Background, just the page that you're working on, and then go ahead and click Download. So once this is downloaded onto your computer, you want to re-upload it to Canva. So you can just drag it right in here and add it to your canvas. So here's where the magic actually happens with this one. So you'll delete the original font that you created there, and now this one we're actually going to edit by cropping it this way here, and we will chop it in half. So once we have the top half done, we'll hit duplicate, and now you want to edit this one to include the bottom half of the word. And now you can kind of add these together and you'll see how you kind of get that effect of them being chopped in half. So now we just need to add that font like I had. So in my example, I had Mrs. Johnson. So we'll just do that again. And then here you'll add this right on top of these ones, and you can kind of play around with exactly how you want it. So you can use this tip to create lots of different style designs. Now my next hack has to do with graphics on Canva. You can really spend a ton of time trying to find the right graphics to use in a design, and I'll show you a hack to make that just a little bit faster. So let's say you find a Christmas tree that you really like and you want to use that within a design, but then you're having trouble finding other things that match it. You could look at the magic recommendations that Canva comes up with of similar types of things, but they might not be the exact same. So instead, you can click this little info button up here, or you can hit the little 3 dots on the actual graphic and then hit view more by this person. So then it'll bring you to their actual collection of all their graphics. Now, if they have a ton of graphics like this person does, you can even search just within their graphics and type in Christmas. And hopefully you'll be able to find lots of different great matching graphics to use use within your designs. The next tip is, let's say I found 6 different graphics from this different creator that I wanted to use within a design. I would just slowly click them one by one and open them all up onto my canvas, and then I can highlight them all and make them smaller all at once. So this makes it super quick and easy to make sure all your graphics are a really similar size, and you can redo it if it's not going to fit. A really popular design style on Etsy is to have your designs be 6 or 9 different graphics all in a pattern. So this one I'll need to make a little bit larger. And once you get some graphics that you like, you can kind of lay them out how you want. Or you can let Canva actually tidy them up for you. So you can highlight, say, this row, right-click them and say space evenly, tidy up. And then we can do it for this row, space evenly, tidy up. And now they're all perfectly centered and evenly spaced. So that way you have a really nicely pleasing looking design. Now we're almost done. My second to last tip is using color palettes within Canva to help you come up with what colors you should use within your designs. Now there's this great free website called 𝗗𝗜𝗦𝗧.co, so it's like colors with an extra o.co, and you can come to this website and you can search for tons of different color palettes. So in this example, I went ahead and typed in Christmas color palettes. So this is going to give you lots of options, and here you can actually see the hex codes for every single color. So you can click that and it copies it to your keyboard, and you can paste that color into the hex codes onto Canva. So, you know, we could come here, add the hex code, and you could do that for each one, but that takes an extra minute. So a faster way to do it, if you say liked this color palette, is you could take a little screenshot of those colors, and then you can upload that color palette onto your canvas. So just like I'm showing here, we'll upload this color palette, and you want to crop out, say, the white behind it, or else that'll be in the color palette. And then here, now when we click our design, Canva is actually going to be able to give us those exact colors that we can use within our design. You'll see it down here in photo colors. The AI comes up with a color palette based on that photo. And so here now I can choose any of these different colors that I want for my design, and really quickly and easily have a very nice looking color palette where I don't have to go guess what colors match and go well together. You can even do this with different photos within Canva. So you could come here to Canva and go type in Christmas and go to photos and find a photo that has the colors that you're looking to use. So something like maybe this one here. You can do the exact same thing, and now when you come down to photos, they're going to build you a color palette based on whatever photo that you put in here. So this is super easy and quick to use to get lots of different color palettes to use within your store. So then last but very much not least is one of my favorite Canva hacks. Now if you make mock-ups for your images where you're putting your digital design on a product to make it look more realistic in your product photos, then this is going to come in so handy, because we'll take this mock-up for example. Let's say you want to make a pocket design, but the person's hair is a little bit in the way of your actual image. I'll show you exactly how to put your design underneath it to make it look more realistic, because if we zoom in on this, it's not going to look real to your customer if the design is going over top of the hair. So the first thing you need to do is make sure that this isn't set as your image background. If you're having problems doing what I'm about to show you, it's probably because your mock-up is set as the image background. So you don't want it that way. You can come down here and right click. So what we need to do is actually duplicate this mock-up. So now we have a second layer, and we're going to come to Edit Photo, and here we're going to do the background remover. And we don't really need the background removed, but this gives us the option to actually delete part of our design and gives us access to the eraser tool that we need to use to show you exactly what I'm talking about here. So then we will click this Edit button, and we will use this brush. So this is an editing brush, and what I want you to do is actually erase where the design is going to go on the shirt. So get pretty close to the hair or whatever you're trying to get to go over your design, and then just erase the entire spot where the design is going to be. So it doesn't need to be completely perfect, but you do need to erase the whole space where your design is actually going to be showing. And once you've got it the way that you want it, you are done, and you can go back here. So now you can see you have this extra image that the hair is the only thing in there. So now all you need to do is line it up with the original image. So it should be pretty easy to center it the same exact way. So now you can see the design is actually under the layer of hair. So if you're not sure how to double check if yours is in the right spot, you can click this position button, and really, a lot of Canva users don't even know they added this year. You can click the layers button and see where everything's layered. So here's my design. If I put it over top of the hair, it's on top of it again, but now it's actually below it. And so you can save this layer and use this anytime you're making designs. So if you added a new design on top of it that wasn't there when you first created this, you just have to come to the positions and put it in the middle of these two layers. So now your design is underneath the hair or the necklace or anything else that you need to make it look so much more realistic. I hope you found this tutorial super helpful and got to learn something new that's going to make using Canva easier for you. But if there was a Canva hack that you love that I didn't share in this video, I'd love for you to share it down in the comments. That way we can make more videos like this in the future and all help each other grow and make it so much easier to run our businesses using Canva. And if you want to learn this step-by-step formula that I use to sell over $770,000 on Etsy using Canva to make my designs, then I'll link my course down below that's also helped hundreds of my students make tens of thousands of dollars as well. And as always, thank you so much for watching all the way until the end, and I'll see you in the next one.